Welcome to Altair Engineering Training and Support. In this video, I am going to cover how to perform rollover analysis on roll cage structure which is being meshed using 1D elements. So for this, the structural geometry is as follows. We are going to apply a tangent force for the rollover analysis, and we will apply the constraints at all the suspension pickup points. We'll follow the same process for rollover analysis, that is MPCLN, as we are using the same model which we have created during the 1D analysis of roll cage structure. That model we have will follow. So in that model, we already defined the material as steel, property as 1D beam, then component, we have updated the component with proper property and materials. So again in this tutorial, we directly update the load collectors, that is, we will apply the forces and constraint, and then define the load step, that is the type of analysis. In this case, we are using the linear static analysis. So to open Hypermesh, click on Start, All Programs, Altair HyperWorks, Hypermesh. So Hypermesh is the preprocessor where we create meshing and solver deck, and then we use different solvers for the solving process. So once you open the HyperWorks, make sure you have selected radius bulk data. By default, it may pick as block 110, so make sure that you have selected bulk data. Then click on OK to load the user profile. Once the loading of the user profile is done, you can check it at the top that user profile has been loaded on the Hypermesh GUI, that is radius bulk data format. Then click on File to open, as we have saved that mesh model in HM format. So to open the HM file again in Hypermesh, click on File, Open, select the folder location. Select the HM file, .hm extension file. So in this way you can say my roll cage data will get opened on this model. You can turn on and off the geometry to see this is the geometry lines of the roll cage structure, and these are the meshings, the elements of the roll cage structure. You can also view it is with a 3D representation by changing the representation from standard traditional element representation to 3D element representation. So you can check it like this also. So this is the 3D representation of 1D elements. In the model browser, you can say my material, my properties, and my component is already been defined along with the beam section, that is the cross sectional. I will just check by color combination, view, that whether these all are assigned to the elements or not. So to check the different color through color modes, whether these things are assigned on my geometry or on my elements or not, first change the material color somewhat different, then the component one, and the property color. These three color has to be different so that you can easily see whether the elements are assigned with the proper material and property or not. So click on the by component to properties. So you can see the property color is visible on my elements. Then click on by material. So the material colors are now visible on my elements. So material is assigned on my elements by seeing this, and by showing this by property, my property are assigned to my elements. So again switch it to component collector. Now for the rollover analysis, the next step is to define the loads and boundary conditions, that is forces and constraints. So particularly for rollover analysis, firstly I will define constraints on my model. So to define constraints on my model, first I need to create load collector. So I will click on load collector icon. enter the load collector name as SPC, select an appropriate color, and then click on create. So in this way, on the model browser, again you can see my load collector as SPC has been created. Now the next step is to apply these constraints on my model. So to apply the constraints on my model, go to constraint panel in analysis page, select analysis page, and then click on constraint panel to apply constraint on your model. So for rollover analysis, I am going to constrain my all the 8 suspension pickup points for 3 translational degrees of freedom. So I will constraints all these suspension pickup points. These constraints and force values may change from model to model. So for this particular model, I am using these constraints and the suspension location of the suspension pickup points, but it may vary as per your model. So the methodology will be same. That is, first you have to create the constraint, first you have to create material, then property, then component, and then load collectors. The process will be same, but the location and value may change. So now you can see my constraint has been applied on this. Once you select all the nodes, click on create to create the constraints. So my constraint has got created on the roll cage structure. You can also increase the size of the constraints by changing here the size. So you can easily view the constraints on the nodes. Constraints are represented using triangles in Hypermesh. So in this way you can see for all the 16 suspension pickup points for my vehicle or my roll cage structure, I have applied the constraint. Now the next step is to define the forces on my roll cage structure. So this time, to apply the forces for roll cage analysis, practically I am going to apply the forces in somewhat this direction on these 2 location, that is these 2 points. I am going to apply the force total of 3G. These are the 4 different points, that is point number 1, 2, then the lower in between here, this is 3rd and 4th. So for all these 4 points I am going to apply a force of 3G, and the direction will be in lateral direction because the forces due to the rollover will happen only due to the forces in this particular direction. So as earlier you have seen that we apply the forces using, if you go to analysis forces, we apply forces using axis like XYZ and giving the magnitude on the global axis, that is either X, Y or Z. But as this direction is not in a global direction, that is the application of force or the direction of force is not in any particular axis. So what we will do to apply the forces on my roll cage structure is we can create one more local coordinate system, and then we will rotate that local coordinate system along the particular axis, and then apply the forces using that particular local coordinate system. So that I will show you how we can create a local coordinate system. So to create local coordinate system on any of the model, go to 1D page. In 1D page, go to systems. There are a few more other ways to apply the angular forces on the roll cage structure, but so we require one node. Then on that we will create an origin. Then we define the x-axis using our node, and then xy plane. So for that we require one more node along the y-axis. So I will click return. First I will create one node in y-axis so that I can use to create a local coordinate system. So to create a node along y-axis, I will go to tools. On tools page, click on translate. Select the node on which you want to create the which on which you want to create the local coordinate system. For that you require a node in y-axis. So select this node from the graphic window, click on the nodes and say duplicate. So it will create a duplicate node here. Select the global system from the drop box. Select from the drop box y-axis, enter the magnitude as 10 and click on translate plus to translate this node along y-axis. I am translating this node on the y-axis to define the plane xy plane for the local coordinate system. Then click return to exit this translate panel. Then again go to 1D. In 1D select systems. Then select the node on which you want to create a local coordinate system. So I want to create the local coordinate system on this node with the origin as the same. X-axis will be the along this length, any node on this will be the x-axis, and for y-axis I will pick this one node. So for y-axis I will pick this node. Select the mode of this system to be rectangular and size to be 10. This size represents the size of the local coordinate system. So you can see this is the size. If you want to increase, you can increase the size of the local coordinate system. Also you can change the color of local coordinate system so that it will be more visible. So you can see here I have defined a local coordinate system here. In this way you can define a local coordinate system. Then click return. Now as I want to apply force in this direction, so this will be on the 45-degree angle of this global coordinate system. So I will rotate this local coordinate system to 45 degrees of angle and then apply the forces using this local coordinate system. So to rotate this local coordinate system, go to tools, click on rotate. Select from the drop box systems. Select the system which you want to rotate. Select the axis along which you want to rotate. So if as I want to rotate YZ plane to 45 degrees, so I will select perpendicular axis to the YZ plane. So I will select X axis with a base point as origin and select the angle as either -45 or say 45 and say plus, rotate plus. So as you can see it has been rotated to 45 degrees. Now I will apply the force using this local coordinate system in the axial direction. As you can see I want to apply the force in this direction, so I have applied this. I have defined the local coordinate system and rotated it to 45 degree. Now to apply force, first point is I want to create a load collector as force. So to create a load collector as force, click on load collector icon, enter the name as force, define a proper color and say create. Then click on return to exit the load collector panel. Then to apply force on your model, click on analysis page, force panel. To apply forces on your model, go to analysis page, click on force panel. Once you enter to force panel, make sure your create radio button is selected, and then the first thing you have to do is to change from the global to local coordinate system and pick the system that you want to refer as. So I want to refer this system for the application of force. Then select the nodes on which you want to apply the force. For this particular system or for this particular model, I am going to apply a 3G load on all the 4 axes, combined 4 axes, total of 3G force for the rollover analysis. So the direction of force will be y-axis. As you can see, in upward direction I am going to apply the force. I'll also want to explain why I am doing this. So if you see, if I rotate this model to a 45-degree angle, somewhat like this, so you can see that the direction of the force which will tend this model to rotate will be something like this, and this direction is in the 45-degree inclination. So either I can rotate my complete model and apply the force, or the other way is I can create it. The better way is to create a local coordinate system, rotate it, and then apply the force in the upward direction. So first of all, I will show you the calculation for 3G force. So if we consider 3G, so if we consider 400 kgs to be the weight of my vehicle, then G can be calculated as 400 multiplied by 10, that is 4000 Newton, and 3G stands for 4000 multiplied by 3, which will give 12,000 Newton, and this 12,000 Newton force I am going to apply on 4 nodes. So on each node I am going to apply a force of 3000 Newton. So in this way the calculation has been done. So I'll enter the magnitude as 3000 and click on create. So as you can see, the direction or the representation of forces are very high, so I will just lower it down. So you can see now the direction of forces is on 45 degree. So in this way I have defined the forces at the inclined forces I have defined. So click on return. Now my next step, as I have defined the load collector, now my last step is to define the load step for the linear static analysis. So to define the load step for linear static analysis, go to analysis, load step, enter the name of the load step as rollover, select the type as linear static, check the box in front of SPC, check the box in front of load, select SPC as SPC and load as force, and then click on create. So on the model browser you can see my load step has been defined. Then click on return to exit the load step panel. Now as you can see, my material, property, component, load collector, load step, that is MPCLL step has got completed. Then I will save this model. By creating a folder as rollover analysis, save this file and solve this model using Radios. So to solve this model using Radios, go to analysis, Radios, select the export option to all, run option to analysis, memory option to default, save the FEM file so that later on if you want to edit some of the meshings or loads and boundary conditions, you can directly edit in the FEM data, and click on Radios. So once you click on Radios, it will generate a solver window. So once you see the message analysis completed, that is job completed, Then click on results to open hyperview to view the results of displacement and stress due to the application of force and constraint on the roll cage structure. So once you click on hyperview player, it will first show you the message log, that is warning, one or more of the required features checkout will expire in 2 days. That is the licensing days it is showing. Then this is the roll cage structure. So for rollover analysis, I will see first the value of displacement. So click on contour, select the result type as displacement and say apply. So the maximum displacement is coming as 2.26 mm, and if I see the elemental stress C bar CB axial stresses and say apply using simple, so the maximum stresses due to the 3G application of force on the roll cage structure is coming as 21.38 newtons. So to check the exact value and location of the maximum and minimum stress or displacement, click on measures, check the box in front of static mean max result, deselect minimum and make sure the maximum is ticked on. So here you go, you will find that the maximum static stress is coming on this particular node and the value is 21.37 Newton per mm square. Similarly, if you again click on contour and say displacement and apply, so the maximum value of displacement is coming as on this particular location with 2.267 mm. If you want to view the animation, click on this play button. As the value of displacement is very low, so you cannot view the displacement. Very high, you can see here there is a very low displacement value. So just to view the magnified displacement or deformation of the your roll cage structure, click on the deformed icon. To see the magnified displacement, click on deformed. Magnify it with a scale factor, say 10 or say 100. So you can see it has just magnified the animation of the deformed roll cage structure due to the rollover analysis. So in this way, during the rollover, it will behave something like this in these static conditions. So in this way, I have ended this tutorial.